Hey people, Pinnacle here. So I've got a bit of a problem on my Z1000sx. We went for a bike meet the other day and I actually went in full race levers. Turns out that racing boots are a bit bigger than my normal casual riding boots. Both have good protection, both have steel toe caps and bits and pieces and a little bit protection for the upper toe so you can change gear, but the gap between the foot peg and the gear selector was not really comfortable for my boot, and my boot didn't really want to get in there and change gear, and I was having all sorts of problems. So I think it's time to adjust my gear selector. So let's have a look at the picture before that we're on at the moment. This is how it is at the moment. Now if I put a line over this, you can see the angle of the foot peg in relation to the gear selector. Now I've adjusted this now to the maximum opposite end. Now the adjustment bar, I'm not sure if I've got a standard one on this Z1000sx, but it's a bit small. There's not a lot of adjustment room in there, so you might be able to get an aftermarket one if you need to adjust any more after this. Now I'm wearing a size 10 boot, so I mean this adjustment for me, I think it's going to work well. Haven't taken it out for a ride yet, but as you can see in the pictures, it is almost a little bit straighter than it was before. And again, if I put a line over the picture, you can see here. Now, if I put the two lines before and after side by side, then you're going to see how much I adjusted it by. But when you put the racing boots on there before and after, you can see that it's more comfortable and less aggressive on the right hand side after picture now. You no longer need to be a ballerina to be able to change gears on a motorbike. So, I mean, I don't know if you can get this even less aggressive with an aftermarket rod. I don't know, but I'm going to try this out. I think this should be fine because the before was fine with my casual, but with my racing boots, it became a problem. So we're going to try this out. One other thing I'm going to do is quickly go through how to adjust it. It's very, very simple. So you just need a 10mm spanner. That's all you need for this job. Now, if you look at this rod, you have two nuts either side. Now, some rods, they have a lock nut and a retaining nut. This particular rod on this, again, not sure if this is a standard one. I'll need to check that, or maybe in the comments you can tell me below if it's the same as the one you have. You just need to unscrew both ends. Now, the one on the left is a normal position. You unscrew that anti-clockwise as normal. The nut on the right hand side is a reverse thread. So you need to tighten this up to unscrew it. In other words, you need to unscrew it going clockwise. Bit of a contradiction there, but that's what we do. It's reverse thread. Once you've loosened and unscrewed both of those, you can basically just get the rod and you can turn it to adjust further away or closer, and you will see the gear selector going up and down accordingly. Once you've got it in the correct position, hold the center so it does not move anymore and tighten the nuts up on each end. Again, tightening the one on the left hand side and effectively loosen the one, but actually tighten it because it's reverse thread on the right hand side. And that's all there is to it. And you just play around with that. Remember, you need to change down gears as well. Now, it's easier to point your toes than it is to bend your foot up towards your knee. So just make sure you don't go over the top. Little adjustments until you're comfortable with it. Sit on the bike before you take it out and start it up. And just to see, hold down the clutch and just see changing gears, change up, change down, change up, change down. Is it comfortable in both directions? If so, that's the position you want. So that's how to adjust the gear selector lever. Now, one other thing that I've actually done here as well is I've changed the foot pegs. Now, the standard foot pegs are have rubber tops on them, and what I do find sometimes is that the rubber can, when you're kind of moving around on the bike a little bit, you're kind of moving your butt cheeks off, your feet are moving around a lot. Now, if you've got flat sole shoes which are not really meant for biking, you're pretty much gonna need the rubber on there. But I don't wear boots or shoes or trainers that are not meant for biking, and all of my boots are pretty effective on the rubber or on a more kind of metal spiky foot peg. So I wanted to try it, so I swapped out these rubber-based foot pegs for just basically anodized steel or aluminium, whatever they are, foot pegs. Got them off of I think it's Amazon or eBay. I'll put the link in the description below anyway, so you can see where I got them from. These are for the Z1000sx, and they fit perfectly. I used the springs that came with them. I used the retaining studs and the actual cap that goes in as well. Again, pretty easy to change. You just need a screwdriver and a pair of mole grips. That is it. That's what you need. So to talk you through it, all you got to do is put the screwdriver in there, bash it with a hammer, that clip will come out, pull the pin through, and then the whole thing comes off. Simple as that. And obviously the new one goes on in reverse order, so you push it in, you put the panel in, you put the spring in position, you put the clip on, and you use the mole grips to squeeze the clip onto the retaining pin. And you are all done. Just make sure that you lift it up and it does spring back down again. Because if it doesn't, you've got the spring in the wrong place. Any questions anyway, just give us a comment below, leave the questions there, and I will respond to every single comment. So yeah, if you enjoyed the content, if it is useful for you, give us a like. If it's not and you thought I'm talking at my ass, just give us a dislike. It's fine. Either way is fine with me. But if you do like this sort of stuff and you want to see more, subscribe and you will get to see all my videos I produce. Until then, ride safely and I will speak to you later on.